It was sad. It was actually built. That is Mark Morrison. The song is called Return of the Mac. The card was billed Return of the Mac. Matthew Macklin versus Jorge Sebastian Heiland. I'm T Street Controversy, and this is T Street Controversy Live, and I cover boxing. I was actually covering Vladimir Klitschko versus Kubrat Pulev at the time, so I had to actually watch the Matthew Macklin fight a little later on. I'm going to say, listen, Matthew Macklin has lost 6 times. In his last 6 fights, he's 3-3. In his last 6 fights, he's lost 3 of those fights by knockout. He has 4 knockouts and his 6 losses. And this knockout right here may have been the cherry on the sundae, the icing on the cake. I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know what else I was going to say next. But I want to say this. Losing the way that he did, and the fact that when you look at his biggest fights, Felix Sturm, split decision, Sergio Martinez, Sebastian Zebek. No, wait, I believe Heiland fought Zebek. Long story short, Golovkin, where Golovkin just basically had his heart before Macklin and Golovkin even stepped into the ring. I asked myself, well, where does Matthew Macklin go from here? They were fighting for the WBC International title, which is basically a step closer to fighting for the interim or the silver title. Miguel Cotto is the full, WBC champion, and then he has to worry about either Martin Murray or Gennady Gennadievich Golovkin. Golovkin and Murray are going to be fighting in February of 2015 in Monaco. Why not United States? Because Martin Murray has some visa problems. He's a criminal. Hey, listen, I'm a criminal as well. Trust me, Martin Murray, I understand. What I want to say is Matthew Macklin has had a career where he's been built off of excitement. This was a fight that he was in control of in the early rounds. But then I would say once from round 5, 6, 7, 8 came along, you can see he was clearly slowing down. And this Argentine pressure was relentless. He did not stop coming, almost like a Marcos Maidana, fellow Argentine. But as far as Matthew Macklin's career is concerned, listen, the full fight is on my like page. Right down below, just click the link. Also, my reviews of every single major fight I cover is going to be right down below on the link at Real Combat Media. I'm trying to figure out how to be gentle with the Matthew Macklin situation. And the only way I can be gentle is say, listen, retire. There's nothing else like out there for you. Retire. There's nothing else like that out there for him. But from what I'm seeing, he seems like the type of fighter that's going to fight again. This knockout was the worst knockout he's taken in his career. I'm talking about dude hitting with a jab, a straight, and then a right hook. And you saw just Macklin crumble. He was laying on the ropes like on some gangster lean shit, just chilling. And automatically, there was no count, no nothing. The referee automatically knew he was done. Most brutal knockout of his career by far. Now, where does this Jorge Sebastian Heiland go? Well, it seems as though now he's in line to fight Miguel Cotto. But he'll have to get through Sergio Martin. No, excuse me. He'll have to get through Martin Murray or Gennady Gennadievich Golovkin. Miguel Cotto, if you don't know, has 1 voluntary. Then he has to fight Gennady Gennadievich Golovkin. Some saying that voluntary is going to be Canelo. We don't know. But as it stands right now, Matthew Macklin, he was talking big stuff. He was talking about getting Golovkin afterwards and all that. And it's like, no, not Golovkin. He was talking about getting Cotto after that and all that. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. You'll get Cotto, okay, because Cotto is basically the smaller fighter. Matthew Macklin is the bigger fighter. But at the same time, you got Golovkin who beat you the fuck up. You know, and that's just in layman's terms, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, I've covered, no, actually, I can't remember the last fight of Matthew Macklin's I covered, but I've watched his last 7 fights, if I'm correct. Good fighter, a lot of heart, but something is not there. It's just something missing. And that's when I say, you know, it's time to hang up the gloves. If you don't know, I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. This is not actually live. Like when I get days like this where I have a log jam of all these different major fights, what I'll do is I'll cover the important ones, then I'll cover the rest of them later on. But as it stands, Still number one regardless. Shout out to Eddie Hearn, man. You should get Promoter of the Year on the low. You should get promoted. If there was a global awards, Eddie Hearn should get Promoter of the Year because he's been making the best fights. That's just my personal opinion. T Street Controversy Live.